I want to talk about my most used home gym fitness equipment as of 2025, and I want to put a special caveat here. These are not my favorite pieces. In fact, I got still a lot more stuff to show you guys off camera, and that's why I got the angle, the camera this way, both sides of me, a lot of stuff flanked. That stay tuned in the upcoming week. I will share that stuff with you. Also got some new stuff in that likely is definitely going to make this most used category, but I think it's relatively new. So these are pieces I've used throughout the year that I use most often, meaning at least once or twice a week. But was not going to make this video today, but I've been getting a lot of questions, assumingly because it is the holiday season, and as of literally last night, maybe this morning, and some more updates on that. Some of the things I'm actually talking about as I reached out to some of these companies are actually going to be having a Black Friday deal, so some of this stuff is at their steepest discount. So shameless plug to you guys, links are down in the description box. Some of these things I might not even have affiliate links, but I am keeping the Black Friday page updated even as I'm about ready to go out of town here. Starting off in no particular order, we'll start with one that's going to have the most division, and that is going to be the Beyond Power Vultra, for sure the most hyped product of the year. I've said very candidly many times, it's not going to be for everybody. Why I put this up there is I've constantly been messing with it, playing with it. It is very fun to use. I've said many times, if you have a functional trainer, rack, a cable stack, you probably do not need this thing. This is for somebody, as I've just made this new rack here, really for this purpose. I found I get the most use out of it when I was using it things for a foot plate, which is overkill for a lot of people, or if you're using kind of like a raw, just basic squat rack and you want to attach to something, in which case I believe this Darko mount is a necessity. It just makes stuff in your life a lot easier. I've had a lot of people tell me, even a good friend who I'm surprised actually says this, told me, man, you got to get a second one, opens up so many doors because you can attach it to a barbell, which by the way made me think if you have a barbell, my collar hooks, which are also shameless plug, on sale right now, steepest discount ever, might be a good way to kind of attach these to a barbell as I'm kind of thinking about it. Digress though, I just feel like I don't really need to. I don't have to do like syncing it and charging two different batteries. So that is just me, but this was definitely something that I've used a lot this year. Surprisingly so, actually. That leads me into this next one because I've said that the Vultra sometimes pushes out my resistance band foot plate for a number of reasons. I use all different types of bands, barbells. There's actually a lot of different resistance band company sales happening right now with X3, Clench Fitness, Serious Steel, I believe is coming up soon. I have an overabundance and more incoming of resistance band, barbells, and even foot plates, but if I'm saying right now the foot plate that I use the most, because I think it is the best, is the Harambe one. It is overkill, it's crazy, but right now this is their biggest sale at 20% off this. Still might not be worth it to you, but this is also coming from a company that originally said they were never gonna be doing any of these limited time sales, and of course they've broken that rule. So for better or for worse, I think this is the only time they're gonna have this on sale, at least at that kind of price. Next thing is going to be the Rep Pepin dumbbells. So a little backstory again, so you guys may or may not know, I pre-ordered these, I canceled the pre-order, only then to go pay much more higher price than I initially did for the pre-order. And now they're down in a relatively low-ish price. Of all the different Black Friday deals, I think Rep Fitness is having some of the best ones, only considering they're not the steepest sales, but you're finding things that are 10% off with the free shipping on very good quality items that usually are not discounted that low. As of right now, these Rep Pepins are not on a discount, and I can't confirm or deny, but
I have a strong psychic belief
that you may still have an opportunity to get these at a discount in the very near future. I'm just gonna kind of say that, but I'm not totally sure. But still, regardless, these are my most used dumbbell of this year. I love the aesthetics, the way they feel, the balance. Also, really quick, forgot to mention, some of you guys know this already, but the adder plate used to have this little kind of a keychain looking ring right there, and that was annoying for some people, and maybe there's even some quality issues too, but everyone who's purchased an old Rep Pepin set has got these replacement pop pins, and I got mine a couple weeks ago and I replaced them. So that's another kind of nice little added benefit. Next thing, I talk about this many times on the channel, is this Revolution Gripper 2.0. I actually got some other grip products in I'll be sharing with you. I still think this is the best for all the number of reasons. USA made, lifetime warranty. You get an immediate forearm. And like I said, sometimes even a bicep pump when you're kind of squeezing this. I use this at least once to twice a week. And even as I'm heading out of town, I might even throw this in my bag for this guys trip I'm going on, just so people can kind of mess with it, you know, as they're kind of sitting around. But great little fidget tool, and one that's, you can definitely feel it as soon as you use it. I did reach out to the owners the other day, so if you notice on the Black Friday page, they put their 20% off code back on there. It was 10%, so they put the 20% off code, I think, until a little bit after December. Maybe it's December 1st, I'm not sure, but you can get these. Great stocking stuffer. Again, great overall product. I love it. Just make sure if you ever do pick this up with the spring loaded mechanism, make sure you have it untwisted when you're not in use so you don't overwork the spring, and also I think maybe avoids the warranty. I don't know, but the point is, do not leave this spring compressed. All right, then segueing into attachments, this is still, if you guys have been watching, you know I've been saying this is my favorite attachment, the Rogue stainless steel straight lap bar. You can get this in 20 or 40 inches, and I believe this is on their hot deals as of right now. If you gave me one attachment to use, or I know where they use the most, it's gonna be this thing for lat pull downs, any kind of a pull really, bicep curls, tricep press downs. Can't say enough about this. This might just be personal preference, but definitely my top attachment still of this year and the one I use most often. The next attachment I have not shown off are these Prime Fitness KAZ handles. These are the really thick ones. I've had these off camera for a while, and I initially got them. I saw these at Home Gym Con, which by the way, if you want to save tickets on Home Gym Con, code HYBRID does also do that for you. These are USA made. A lot of people just love the aesthetics and the way to look at them. I was first using this on some of the cable towers, like my Phoenix GetRX tower. And honestly, I just felt like for one reason or another, I just wasn't using it as much, probably because of this taper. I just felt like different angles and getting the positions just weren't as ideal. That's just me personally. But then when I put this thing on the Total Gym, which if you guys watch me do everything with the Total Gym, my go-to has always been a swivel, 2 carabiners, and then these Huck handles. No affiliate with these guys, but that's one of my favorite handles with the Total Gym. I have found that once I put these on, this was a game changer, a new game changer for me using my Total Gym or sliding bench trainer, is that also it gives you extra extension too because of the way the straps are oriented. Just kind of a nice, fat, thicker grip, and I just feel like the way the swivel works, getting into various positions is easier, and I just love the way it feels, and of course working grip strength, and I just love the solid feel of this. And the more I've been progressing just with grips, and maybe that's a side point with the lat pull down bar, I'm starting to really prefer a thicker grip for everything. So been loving this, and it's also just making the Total Gym and using the Total Gym Evolve all the more fun, to be honest with you. That actually leads me to the thing I'm sitting on. The other machine I used a lot this year in 2025 was the Total Gym Evolve, which, backstory, I was a little critical on initially because of the price tag and how much I'd actually use the horizontal glide board. The price has gone down a lot. There's actually a Black Friday sale, but on top of that, it can be kind of confusing. I noticed if you click my link, it then prompts the coupon code to come up at checkout. So if you type in the discount code, not trying to do this shameless plug here, but you definitely shave off another $200 or so even off their Black Friday discount. So that is something to be mindful about, and that's on the Black Friday page. There's things I wish they included more in here, but you guys know I love Total Gyms and sliding bench trainers that once I've kind of gone horizontal, it's kind of hard to go back without having that feature. So that is cool if you're remotely in the market. Now on that note, I've tried a bunch of different machines this year, and what I'm gonna do is kind of lump this into kind of one big broad category. So talking about lever gyms and lever-based machines. Specifically, say first the Quantum Free Trainer. That to me is still, I think, the standout product of the year in a number of reasons. People want to know where that is. That's in the basement. I've been experimenting with using lever arms and jammer arms. So I have the PRX arms. I even still have the Crandall Fitness arms. I was asking if any of those products are going to be going on sale. Crandall Fitness said they still have their discounts, which again, shameless plug, also affiliate link with them too. They aren't going to have any Black Friday deals. They said the discounts are kind of where they are. And the PRX arms are out of stock. I assume right now they're going to do some sort of a changes to the lever arms. I don't really know for sure, so I'm going to be double checking on that, but that's my assumption based on some of the things that's coming out. And as a brief aside, I do love the Crandall Fitness arms. The issue was there's a pro and con. The pro is that you can actually take them on and off the rack easily, which is nice. Downside is they do not have a trolley, and it gets kind of heavy to move the thing up and down. But I have heard from them that in the very near future, the trolley feature is coming in. So that's why I've been holding on to really do a comparison between the PRX arms and the Crandall Fitness arms. So stay tuned for that. With regards to the Quantum Free Trainer, still an awesome machine. It just depends how much you're going to take advantage of all the capabilities. You're still going to see that in the future. I just needed room in this garage to kind of make some more space. Glenn did give me an update. I don't know how much I can really share with you. I should have checked before this video to record, but I do know Glenn has some very cool things, a lot of new things, one of which being, that I'll just say this, I probably can say it, that he told me that you're not going to need a squat rack with some of these upgrades coming in the future. So he's got a lot of stuff planned. I'll probably have another video with him probably talking about that if you guys are curious. But I would say lever-based gyms are still something for yours truly that I used a lot this year, and I know it's kind of a make or break for some people. It's still a piece of equipment that I would still say is something I need or kind of really want in my home gym. And last but not least, and also tease another product I'll be showing you guys in an upcoming video here, is going to be the curve calf and also the U-cups put up by U4C Fitness. Awesome guys. They are running a sale as of this morning. I'm waiting to hear back from, I emailed them last night and they told me they are doing it. So waiting everything to get kind of solidified. But what they're going to tell me is, they did tell me that my code HYBRID will take off 20% off. It's also, they have a Black Friday deal discount code. But what they're essentially doing is Taking my margins, of course, and making a discount very low, so you guys get more maximal savings, which of course makes sense. So you get 20% off a USA made in small batches, San Antonio, Texas. To me, this is one of those home run products where you get something that is very high quality. It's almost as comparable in price as some of the overseas ones, and you get it at a discount, which I think is also pretty cool. The U cups actually came first. These are also USA made, and they finally got some more in stock. They have a bunch of different dimensions on what they can actually fit on. I was using them, but then I didn't use them because I had a Smith machine. If you have a Smith machine or something like that, you're not gonna need these. But if you have a raw, just straight rack and you wanna do calf raises, this works out really well. So these are back in stock also. And then just as a quick aside, because there is an exclusive deal about it and I've been trying it, but I'm gonna do more information on this. The Rip Rant 2.0 just came in from a squat harness. I'll be discussing it. Odds are you've actually probably seen it in the backdrop of some videos. But what is cool about it is that now there's this slope in the back. So this does work out very well for calf raises. The only downside is you kind of slip on it. So I'd still, at some point, I'm gonna put some grip tape on this. Not made in the USA at the curve calf, so that's an unfortunate part. But like I said, he is having, for a limited time, his 20% off for this. Also the squat harness, which I do love, and I use that thing. I just don't use it every week or even every other week. It kind of depends. So that's why it's not in like my most used products of this year. But also has a code here. I think BF Hybrid saves you 20% off of these, which I sent he has limited quantities of these in for sure. Now that would really be it. Now I'm not counting things like barbells and just weight plates, stuff of course you use very often. But do stay tuned because I do have some cool things in that category that I think are going to be in my new favorites for sure in the next year. I'm going to be using a lot. That I'm using, I just got that in fairly recently, but that I'm pretty much using every leg session. So that is like a very close honorable mention to making this list. I'm just still counting it as somewhat still relatively new, but that is for sure gonna be one of my favorite products of the year, no question. Digress on that. And if you guys are curious about that whole video, on that link down below. But that is it though, guys. Hopefully this video was informative. As always, drop your comments down below and stuff you wanna see featured in the future, and I will see you guys on the next video.